The hammer is being dropped on some of the worst creatures in our society. Details of seemingly endless prosecutions and deportations as we take the country back. Last year, we all watched in horror as college campuses like Columbia were overtaken by terrorist supporters and ravaged. Many wondered how those in power could allow buildings to be taken over by mobs of masked radicals chanting death to the Jews. Through inaction, Democrats all throughout the country gave tacit approval of this kind of chaos, and it's something that we have seen the Democrat Party do before. But it's all over now. Secretary of State Marco Rubio revealing this week the State Department has already revoked 300 visas from foreign students who tore up and terrorized our university campuses. 300 radical foreigners given visas to subvert the foundations of this peaceful republic. 300 very terrible guests are being sent home in tears. And it's nice to see, hopefully never to return. Video of just one example from this week was something to see. Rumeysa Ozturk, a Tufts PhD student. She's in the white coat. Ooh, there she is. Rumeysa moonlighted in pro-Hamas activities while enjoying the liberties of a Western education and the luxury of a foreign visa. She was nabbed by ICE on the streets of Boston. You can hear it. We'll let you listen. Oh, you a little scared, Rumeysa? Think about all the Jewish kids you terrorized last year. They were probably scared too. They're citizens. You're not. Quite a moment to witness there. The left, of course, immediately jumped on Rumeysa's side and tried to compare ICE to the Gestapo, claiming that she was thrown out of the country simply for writing an anti-Israel op-ed. That was all she did. She wrote a little op-ed in the local newspaper at Columbia and she got tossed out. Nah. Our own Secretary of State directly responded to that claim.
If you apply for a visa to enter the United States and be a student, and you tell us that the reason why you're coming to the United States is not just because you want to write op-eds, but because you want to participate in movements that are involved in doing things like vandalizing universities, harassing students, taking over buildings, creating a ruckus, we're not going to give you a visa. If you lie to us and get a visa and then enter the United States and with that visa participate in that sort of activity, we're going to take away your visa. We gave you a visa to come and study and get a degree, not to become a social activist that tears up our university campuses. Every time I find one of these lunatics, I take away their visa.
Love that. And the left can kick and scream, but we are cleaning all the crap out of this country, and it is fun to watch. Some more examples here. Dr. Rasha Alaway from Lebanon found out she wasn't allowed back into the U.S. after she took a little vacation to attend the funeral of a Hezbollah leader that was killed in an Israeli strike. The doctor had photos of terror leaders and Hezbollah fighters on her phone. They were hidden in the deleted folder. She thought she was coming back home to nice, free, safe America and her high-paying job. Nah. Back to Lebanon you go. Watch out for those Israeli bombs, honey. Of course, you already know Mahmoud Khalil, married to an American woman with a baby on the way. Khalil coordinated the Columbia protests, is also accused right now in a lawsuit of having advanced knowledge of the October 7th attacks. He's still fighting his deportation. He'll likely end up back in Syria, hopefully. We're going to see if wifey is loyal enough to trade Manhattan for bombed-out Aleppo. And then there's maybe the most satisfying deportation of all. Do you remember this guy?
Mi gente, he pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla. Capichi?
Leonel Moreno, the Venezuelan influencer on TikTok, famous for teaching other fake asylum seekers in this country that we have squatters' rights in the U.S. and you can just take over a house and there's nothing that they can do about it. That ugly mug right there was all over the internet helping illegals exploit American housing. And then it all kind of changed when Trump was elected, right? And Leonel's messaging sounded a lot different as well.
Estoy en peligro de muerte en United States. Necesito protección en Estados Unidos.
Necesito protección. The New York Post reporting today, Leonel has been deported. and evidently created such a scene on the deportation flight he had to be separated from other deportees. You got to enjoy that. The State Department and ICE working together to take the trash out as the other side, with the help of our ridiculous courts, works to protect all these cancers of our society. Adam Schiff.
If the administration ultimately is given a green light by the legal system to grab anyone off the street, unilaterally designate them a gang member or anything else, and without any opportunity to contest that decision by the executive, you can be whisked off the street and taken to some big prison in El Salvador, then no one is safe.
I think we're pretty safe. Just anyone off the street, right? Like the Tren de Aragua gang members at CCOT that were standing behind Kristi Noem when she made that address. You saw them standing there, the left rushing to defend these illegals, furious they didn't get a full trial before their deportation. There they are right there. They broke into the country, they were investigated, found to be gang members, and they were sent to CCOT. And the Democrats in this country are just furious at that, as if they're citizens. The hammer is being laid down, and it's also being laid down judicially inside the U.S. as well. For the past several weeks, we've seen a coordinated attack on Elon Musk's Tesla. And those attacking are now finding out that there's suddenly repercussions for trying to burn America down because you're politically angry. The suspect in that massive dealership bombing you can see behind me, and the gun attack as well, it blew up the cars and shot into the dealership, has been arrested this week. Paul Kim's social media is full of pro-Hamas, pro-communist content. You probably thought you could do this and just get away with it, because that's the way it's been in this country for the last 4 years. You can loot, you can steal, you can do anything you want. Nah, he's now facing 30 years in prison. So many vandals keying Teslas all over the place. These people are not the brightest. You can see there. You can see all these videos. Teslas have cameras, guys, and the DOJ now has some teeth. You're being recorded. You're going to go to jail. You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt Tonight on Newsmax.